Time for another comparison of ChatGPT versus Alma, the AI relationship coach that I created to help you date wisely, protect your energy, find the right relationship, and co-create a love story. Let me show you. So here I'm asking Alma, I tend to get attached to men too early and then wind up heartbroken when they pull away or it fizzles out. I forget the exact wording. So the first thing Alma does is ask some questions to get a clearer picture of what's going on and what exactly the client is getting attached to. And this is really important information, and you're going to see why in a minute. It helps to stimulate a little bit more self-awareness, and Alma can, of course, go a lot deeper and ask more questions as necessary. But I answered, I get really attached to the potential. I think I just really like being chosen. I think I answered something to that effect. I think it's that it feels so good to be chosen, which is a really common reason why we get attached to the outcome too early before we've really seen what someone has to offer. So I responded, I notice I start overanalyzing and trying to, I can't remember the rest of what I typed, and trying to figure out how he feels about me. And so this is really common early attachment behavior when we get attached to the idea of a relationship before we actually know what someone has to offer us. And of course, that can cause us to get caught up in a huge emotional roller coaster. So I said what a common client would say, trying to figure out if they'll commit or if they like me as much as I like them. So now that I've shared a little bit more information, Alma can give me some guidance and advice and a couple of steps to help me work on the attachment itself rather than just telling me to not attach. So practicing noticing this pattern. And of course, Alma can, if you ask Alma to go deeper into that pattern to really get to know what's working there, what's not working, and what triggers that pattern, you can do that. So here I ask ChatGPT the exact same question. And again, it really comes out with a lot of assumptions. You're getting emotionally attached, and then you get sorry, I forget what I said. You can pause to read up there. But this whole, use a strict prove it mindset. Don't get attached until a man has proven himself. All the answers really basically come down to just don't get attached. And that's really difficult for a lot of people. You can't just tell yourself don't get attached without addressing the parts of you that get attached, because then the parts of you that get attached just feel abandoned. They feel made wrong. And so it's really important to understand what is it within you that's getting attached to something about them so that you can actually, because telling someone just don't get attached too early, that really doesn't work, because that's okay, don't text him until he texts you. Then it's like you're sitting on your hands trying not to text him, and it feels like an act of willpower. Whereas if you address the part of you that feels like this compulsive need to text him in the first place, then you liberate yourself to go about your life and trust that he will text if he's going to, and if he's not, then it's not the end of the world. You will be okay. It's the same thing with that early attachment. We have to address the parts of ourselves that are getting attached. We have to understand the need, the emotional need that we're trying to get met by attaching too early. If we don't have any understanding of what that need is, and Alma can help you understand that need, then you're basically just telling yourself, don't attach. And then meanwhile, there's a part of you that's like, but I need to. I'm scared to not attach. I need to know what he thinks. I need to know how he feels. I need to know if he's going to commit. And you're basically just silencing yourself instead of actually listening to yourself and creating that connection with yourself so that it doesn't have to feel like this giant act of willpower to not get attached too early. So this is just one of the many, many emotional paths for healing that Alma can lead you through. And Alma can also give you the healing processes. Alma can lead you through emotional regulation, through recognizing your triggers, through what to do when the triggers come up. So if you want to learn more about Alma, then you can go to the link in my bio, magneticfemininity.com, and see how Alma can help you get started on your love story today.